I'm Alex Gathii. I'm the founder and the managing director of Tanolope Consultancy Limited. It's just a one-stop shop for all the dairy investors, entrepreneurs, and dairy farmers in Africa. We have footprints in 9 African countries, including Nigeria, Tanzania, Uganda, and currently we are heading to Somalia, where we'll be doing a very big dairy project. We want to double the milk production in Africa. We are the hummingbird, so it's a tall order. So we want to grow the wealth of Africa through dairy industry by making the Africa's dairy industry vibrant. It's a rare opportunity to address the whole of Africa, both the food systems and also what we do. So as Africa, we should be worried about why are we not feeding ourselves? Honestly speaking, I'm a student of Professor Wangari Maathai, the 2004 Nobel laureate. Actually, I worked at the half of 7 consecutive years. And she was asking me about what is the difference between economic growth and economic development. For economic growth, I may not get to details, but the African Development Banks, they'll give us the issues of GDP, GNP, per capita, all those terms, which are very good, and probably they show us how we are growing. But now when it comes to economic development, it is about the basic needs, the food, the clothing, and the shelter, and of course the environment and the health. But today we are talking about food. If a man or a woman cannot feed a family, you lose that moral authority, you lose that self-esteem. So we should get worried about the increasing number of people who are becoming poor or food insecure, or they cannot even feed themselves and they are hungry. It is well documented, probably you correct me, but about 40% of the food we produce in Africa, with a lot of inefficiencies and a lot of labor intensive and all manner of technologies, is lost through post-harvest losses. That is an area we need to think about as Africa, because that is a low-hanging fruit. Let's also talk about production and productivity. A lot of arable land is found within Africa. What is a low-hanging fruit? Is it to increase production, that is to increase the land under agriculture, or is it to increase productivity? The land that is already in production, then we increase the productivity per unit of that land. So that's probably another area we need to look at. We also need to look at the sustainable development of agriculture, because at the end of the day, agriculture activities are related to climate. So the sustainable utilization of resources is critical. And the more we conserve our environment and use smart agriculture and other technologies, and that way we'll be able to produce our food sustainably. Then we also need to get to processing, value addition. Whether we do it subsistence, whether we do it cottage industry, whether we go commercial, or probably we need to do a hybrid of all those. But the bottom line is to produce good quality food that has high bioavailability or high nutrients, and then we should be able now to make sure that that food is available and accessible to the masses. If we invest in dairy farming as a private sector, we may easily double the milk production, lower the cost of that milk, and also increase the quality of that milk. And probably that will translate to more milk being available to our people at a lowest cost possible, and that probably will also increase the nutritional status of our people. As Africa, we need to do a hybrid in my thinking. Let's invest in the small scale farming, subsistence farming. Let's also look at the PPPs, the public-private partnerships that is going to scale up the food security in Africa. Also, this idea of also exporting a lot of raw materials to the rest of the world, let's be very critical and see, let's add value to our raw materials. I remember the words of Our president, I respect one of where we work in Rwanda, General Kagame. He said, what is all this that needs to be massaged? We take coffee or tea to Europe and then we bring it back after some bit of massage. And then the cost of that coffee increases by tenfold. So again, as Africa, we need to look at that because we have the capacity, we have everything, we have the technical and the expertise to do value addition, and then we export to the rest of Africa, the rest of the world, and we are able to do that. So we need to do a bit of work on the efficiencies and of our systems of production, of our food systems, so that we produce food and food products that are favorable and are competing globally. Efficient technologies will be able to make us food as sufficient as a continent. And we'll be able to be sustainable, we'll be able to increase the livelihoods of our people, and we'll be able to redeem the dignity and the esteem of about 250 million of people in Africa who are going hungry. We need to look at many value chains for that matter. If it's dairy, let's look at it and see the opportunities and learn away with them. If it's other growing, Africa is known to have cassava. Cassava could be a multi-billion industry in Africa. Potatoes, yams. Yams is another upcoming crop. Those indigenous crops, honestly speaking, we need to have poor programs, even as governments. Why are we becoming so capitalistic that we are just thinking about profits? It's about time that we become less capitalistic as much as we want profit, but let's also be our brother's keeper. Let's remember what Kwame Nkrumah's, the Julius Nyerere's, and the Jomo Kenyatta's of Kenya, the Pan-African leaders, the African dream they had. As much as we don't want to be socialistic, but we are our brother's keepers. We want to become capitalists, but at the same time, let's have the human face in our business.